यमुना तीरा बनचारी यमुना तीरा बनचारी Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jai Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radhe Jai Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jai Nitai Gauranga Jai Jai Prabhupada
विष्णुपाल परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्री अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की स्थान संस्थापनाचार्य बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड विश्व गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatm, Canto 1, Chapter 4, The Appearance of Sri Narada, Text 12. Shivaya lokasya bhavaya bhutaye Ya uttama shloka parayana janaha जीवन्ति नातमर्थम् असौ पराश्रयम् जीवन्ति नातमर्थम् असौ पराश्रयम् मुमोच निर्विद्य कुतः कलेवरम् मुमोच निर्विद्य कुतः कलेवरम् शिवाय लोकस्य भवाय भूतये या उत्तम श्लोक परायण जनाः जीवन्ति नार्थमर्थम् असौ पराश्रयम् मुमोच निर्विद्य कुतः कलेवरम् शिवाय लोकस्य भवाय भूतये या उत्तम श्लोक परायण जनाः जीवन्ति नातमर्थम् असौ पराश्रयम् मुमोच निर्विद्य कुतः कलेवरम्
शिवाय लोकस्य भवाय भूयते
शिवाय लोकाय भवाय भूतये या उत्तम श्लोक परायण जनाः जीवन्ति नातमर्थम् असौ पराश्रयम् मुमोच निर्विद्य कुतः कलेवरम् शिवाय लोकस्य भवाय भूतये या उत्तम श्लोक परायण जनाः मुमोच निर्विद्य कुतः कलेवरम् शिवाय लोकस्य भवाय भूतये या उत्तम श्लोक परायण जनाः जीवन्ति नातमर्थम् असौ पराश्रयम् मुमोच निर्विद्य कुतः कलेवरम् शिवाय लोकस्य भवाय भूतये या उत्तम श्लोक परायण गताः जीवन्ति नातमर्थम् असौ पराश्रयम् मुमोच निर्विद्य कुतः कलेवरम् शिवाय लोकस्य भवाय भूतये या उत्तम श्लोक परायण जनाः जीवन्ति नातमर्थम् असौ पराश्रयम् मुमोच निर्विद्य कुतः word to word meaning Shivaya welfare lokasya of all living beings bhavaya flourishing bhutaye for economic development ye one who is uttama shloka parayanaha devoted to the cause of the personality of Godhead. Janaha men jivanti do live na but not atma artham selfish interest aso that para ashrayam shelter for others mumocha gave up nirvidya being freed from all attachment kutaha for what reason kalevaram mortal body Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Those who are devoted to the cause of the personality of Godhead live only for the welfare, development, and happiness of others. They do not live for any selfish interest. So even though the Emperor Parikshit was free from all attachment to worldly possessions, how could he give up his mortal body, which was shelter for others? Translation with repetition. Those who are devoted to the cause of the personality of Godhead live only for the welfare, development, and happiness of others. They do not live for any selfish interest. So even though the Emperor Parikshit was free from all attachment to worldly possessions, he could give up his mortal body, which was shelter for others. Purport. Parikshit Maharaj was an ideal king and householder because he was a devotee of the personality of Godhead. A devotee of the Lord automatically has all good qualifications. And the emperor was a typical example of this. Personally, he had no attachment for all the worldly opulences in his possession. But since he was the king for the all-around welfare of his citizens, he was always busy in the welfare work of the public, not only for this life, but also for the next. He would not allow slaughterhouses or killing of cows. He was not a foolish and partial administrator who would arrange for the protection of one living being and allow another to be killed. Because he was a devotee of the Lord, he knew perfectly well how to conduct his administration for everyone's happiness. Men, animals, plants, and all living creatures. He was not selfishly interested. Selfishness is either self-centered or self-extended. He was neither. His interest was to please the supreme truth, personality of Godhead. The king is a representative of the Supreme Lord, and therefore the king's interest must be identical with that of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord wants all living beings to be obedient to him and thereby become happy. Therefore, the king's interest is to guide all subjects back to the kingdom of God. Hence, the activities of the citizens should be so coordinated that they can at the end go back home, back to Godhead. Under the administration of a representative king, the kingdom is full of opulence. At that time, human beings need not eat animals. There are ample food grains, milk, fruit, and vegetables, so that human beings as well as the animals can eat sumptuously unto their heart's content. If all living beings are satisfied with food and shelter and they obey the prescribed rules, there cannot be any disturbance between one living being and another. Emperor Parikshit was a worthy king, therefore all were happy during his reign. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Magyanatimmirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitamena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutaya Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश कारण जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे मुखम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातं मां वन्दे देवताम्. It was year 2020 in a Kerala, in a city, a town. Entire town was mourning. The most of the things, shops were shut to express that mourning. And people were very sad because one of the very closest of personality I can say, of entire that town was left the body. Generally we'll think it must be some leader, some politician, or some famous actor, something like that. But this was none of these kind of personalities. It was an elephant. So Kerala is a city. In the Kerala there is a city called Guruvayur, a city of a temple of Guruvayurappa, which are having the Gajashala. So in that there was one elephant which won several titles as a Gaja Ratna, Gaja Chakravarti. That elephant was so majestic, so nice. And this elephant carried the Lord Guruvayurappa, the Utsava Murti of that temple, was for the last 60 years. Every day, Shaina Pallaki happens to the Lord, and this elephant comes and sits in a proper position, and the main priest brings the Vigraha, climbs on the elephant. So, if anyone want to climb on that elephant without idol, deity, that elephant never used to allow. If anyone want to come and straight go in front of that elephant, climb directly from front side, elephant used not at all used to cooperate. But when some pujari brings the Lord, elephant used to be very submissive, pay respects, and allow that pujari to climb on the elephant. And at one point of time, this elephant was sick. It was much fewer years before. And elephant is sick, definitely it cannot do seva. The mouth thought that this elephant is sick, how to allow it to carry the Lord. So the elephant was tied in a rope, strong ropes in his place, and procession was about to start. This elephant was, no, today is my seva. This is the time, this is the service which I do every time, every day. I am doing from last many years. Now I am sick. These people are considering that I am not fit. Doctor has told. So they have tied me, but I cannot miss my seva. It pulled whatever the ropes tied, ropes got broken, rushed to the service area where it's supposed to stand and receive a Lord. And how was this elephant before starting its service? It was a very, very uncontrollable elephant, not listen to any mouth. So when this elephant was little small, because when they want to select any elephant, they see the feature, height, whatever the strength, everything they see, and they select the elephant accordingly. So the priest was selected this elephant, but they tried to they train this elephant. It's not at all ready. So then what the mouse did, they took the elephant when it was young, 50 years before. They tied the elephant in front of the temple, morning to evening. Instead of Gajashala, they were keeping the elephant in front of temple. Temple, what used to happen? Morning to evening, slokas, recitation, mantra chanting, glorification of the Lord. Whole day this elephant is hearing slokas, whatever the glorification. And also, they start feeding only prasadam to this elephant. Whatever offered to the Lord, some elements offer prasadam. So within just few days, this elephant became very submissive, start listening to mouth. And like that elephant got transformed, and continuously for 60 years, it carried the Lord on his back. And one fine day, it was 80 years old, elephant was 80 years. The doctors, forest department, doctors, veterinary doctors came and told it's very sick. On that day, it was having a problem of diarrhea. Elephant 80 years old. So it was a completely no strength in the body. So on that day, that elephant, so he knows, I cannot do my seva today. So he walks from Gajashala to come in front of the temple, the Gopuram, stands, waiting for Lord's darshan, have a Lord's darshan, raises his trunk, offer respects to Lord. In that way, in a raised trunk position, sits down and laid down and leaves his body. So that was a day of Ekadashi. So this was documented in a book authored by one Westerner. He studies about these elephants of Guruvayur. It's not a one elephant like this. So this I am talking about Padmanabhan. His name was Padmanabhan. And before that another elephant which had similar divine qualities and left the body, that was Keshavan. Even today in Guruvayur, in the memory of this elephant, they built one idol of this elephant, and they offer respects to this. All the people of that Guruvayur offer respects to this Guruva elephant every day. So here, whenever we read this statement, a devotee of the Lord automatically has all good qualifications. It looks like some kind of exaggeration. How just by becoming a devotee, one can have all good qualities? All good qualifications. Not 1, 2, 3, all. Bhagavatam is telling it's all good qualifications. How it is possible? What happens? So Prabhupada explains in one of the purport, what is the main our contamination in our heart? This identity is a contamination. We identify due to our false ego with various things. So when a person takes up devotional service, what happens? this false ego completely get clear. When false ego get clears, when a person understands, yes, I am an Atma, I am a servant of God. So this leads to a manifestation of all good qualities. Because Krishna is having all good qualities. When we understand we are servant of Krishna, and when we realize, naturally all those good qualities also will manifest in us. So, in this purport is a very power-packed purport where we feel every line is important. If just one elephant can get transformed by following, eating prasadam and hearing mantras, why not human beings? Why it won't happen in human beings? Yes, definitely it's possible. So, if an ordinary animal can develop all good qualities, then here, what is the surprise? Parikshit Maharaj is having all that good qualities. He is an eternal associate of the Lord. When he is having all good qualities, there is no surprise in this. And here, it's saying that he was emperor. He was not emperor of one country. He was emperor of the world. 5,000 years before, there was no boundaries, no divisions like what we have today. The entire world was ruled by one king. King from Hastinapura used to rule entire world. And now, Prabhupada is so nicely explaining how he was taking care of his citizens. See, since he was the king for all around welfare of his citizens, he was always busy in the welfare work of the public. Always he was busy, not only for this life, but also for the next. Okay, we can understand in current scenario. Now, current scenario, who is a good leader, who will take care of all the basic needs of the people is considered a good leader. But not his real needs of Atma or not his well-being of his next life. In the case of Parikshit Maharaj, was taking care of his citizens in such a way they'll have a good life in this life and next life also. So he used to take care of them. Because he was a devotee of the Lord, he knew perfectly well how to conduct his administration for everyone's happiness. And Prabhupada further tells, everyone means how? Who all? Only human beings? No. Men, animals, plants, and living creatures. Practically, everyone, every living creature was happy in the kingdom of Parikshit Maharaj. See, this is how the king looks at a citizen. Bhagavatam tells, for such an ideal king, not only the human being is a citizen, every animal, every creature is a citizen, praja. Prakrusta rupena jayate iti praja. Anyone who has taken birth in that land is a praja. So now, where is such administration? Where is such thinking? If any leader is favoring someone, he is unfavoring someone else. He is supporting someone and is killing someone. So in current scenario, what is happening in the geopolitics, you can see everyone is self-centered. If one country is going to help another country, means we have to understand that country has some big self-interest. Without that self-interest, they are not going to support another country. Here, Prabhupada is explaining he was free from selfishness and extended selfishness. What is extended selfishness means? One's only for me, and the thing is one's for the next, my relatives, my friends, my family members, my society. That is the extended selfishness. Even though it's looked that, oh, it's very extended, it's very nice, I'm doing welfare for the welfare of others. It's because why? I am helping this community because I have taken birth in this community. If I have taken birth in another community, I used to favor another community and unfavored or disfavor this community. See how it is, everything is self-centered or self-extended. Selfishness is extended. But in this purport, in this translation, a question is asked here. What is the question? Those who are devoted to the cause of the personality of Godhead live only for the welfare, development, and happiness of others. They do not live for any selfish interest. Okay, this is clear. So even though Emperor Parikshit was free from all attachment to worldly possessions, how could he give up his mortal body, which was shelter for others? Parikshit Maharaj is not living for himself, he is living for the benefit of the whole world, but being in that situation, why he has to quit his body? Why he has to die? Because he was source of guidance, he was a source of happiness, he was a source of protection for all the living entities. If such a person dies, all other living entities and other creatures will be in trouble. Considering that reason, he would have not died. He would have not accepted that curse. Then why he accepted the curse? Why a pure devotee dies? For this question, we can find an answer in Srila Prabhupada's final pastimes. It is very heart-touching. It is very important for all of us to know every detail of Srila Prabhupada's every pastime, of course, but especially in the final pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. We can understand the mood of Prabhupada, the spirit of Prabhupada, the desire of Prabhupada, how he was in his last days. It was in the month of March 1977, Prabhupada was in Mayapur. Prabhupada's health was getting weak day by day. So on one day morning, Prabhupada finished his morning breakfast and stood in the balcony. If you go to Mayapur, how many of you visited Mayapur? How many of you have seen Prabhupada's room? Yes? So Prabhupada came out of that room, standing in a balcony and looking out towards the agriculture field. Those times that was the only building. As we see now Mayapur, so many buildings are there. That was the first building constructed, and where there was a ground floor, the temple, and top floor offices. In one of the floor, first floor, Prabhupada's room is there. So Prabhupada came out of the room and he was finished his breakfast and standing in a balcony, and he was sharing with his one disciple, says that never in my life have I felt as weak as I do now. So you can imagine what is Prabhupada's age. Prabhupada's age at 1977, how old Prabhupada was? 82? Yes, 89. Prabhupada was 82 years old, and Prabhupada was standing in a balcony and is mentioning to Arishori Prabhu, I never felt weak in my life, this much weak before. And during that time, Prabhupada then continues, I would like to finish this Bhagavatam. I want to quickly finish. So, all of you know Prabhupada first published Krishna book, because Prabhupada was aware in 1970 itself, I don't know how long I will live. I should present quickly these Krishna pastimes. That's how we first presented Krishna pastime. Then later he took up Bhagavad Gita and later Bhagavatam compilation. So Prabhupada finally able to complete only 10th canto. Which chapter? Last? 13th chapter. So, but Prabhupada was in that hurry, I have to finish Bhagavatam. See, being in that situation where his health is getting deteriorating, he's not worrying about his health, he's worrying about completing the Bhagavatam. During that time, what happens? One simple devotee runs towards Prabhupada, a pujari. He comes towards Prabhupada and he requests Prabhupada, I have organized a program in a village, I want to invite you. If what we say, any of us, we think, Prabhupada is such an elderly, is so old, Prabhupada is now so weak. Prabhupada has to go for one village program. Now also, if any of us invite for village program, we'll think twice, should we go or not? But Prabhupada immediately accepted. Yes, I will come. And Arishori Prabhu is there. He was get angry and Prabhupada, he was so weak. There are so many other preachers are there. They can go. Why you are going? It's my duty. Prabhupada, others can go. No, he needs me. That's why he is calling me. I must go. So then, Prabhupada, then when that program day comes, Prabhupada goes to that village, travels to nearby village, and a simple stage, a pandal program, and Prabhupada about to climb the stairs. Prabhupada's body was not completely cooperating to Prabhupada, not at all. Prabhupada practically dragging every step. Prabhupada more dependent on his cane stick, kept on one step, climbed one step, second, third, holding the railing, final step, Prabhupada about to keep, Prabhupada collapsed. See, body not at all cooperating. Arishori Prabhu was just behind, holded the Prabhupada, lifted and brought to the stage, and Prabhupada came to the stage, sat on a chair as though nothing has happened. Can you imagine when you are going somewhere, you fall down, you fell by mistake, slipped or fell down. How will be your confidence? So down, so low. But Prabhupada was steady, Prabhupada was sober, Prabhupada's face was like that, as though nothing has happened. Prabhupada sat on a chair and Prabhupada gave a talk. So, in this context, Prabhupada, the devotee recalls and tells like that. Prabhupada, after that he had a conversation, Prabhupada tells, why you went, Prabhupada? Then he tells, see, a warrior who is in the battlefield, if he is injured, he got some injury, will he stop fighting? Until unless last breath he will fight. Same Prabhupada gives the example of Pradyumna, who is in the battlefield, Krishna's son. He got badly hurted, but still his chariot driver brings him to the battlefield. Again, even though he is wounded, he will fight in the battle. Prabhupada gives the example of Pradyumna. So how Pradyumna bought till, even though he is injured. So same way, I am a warrior, I am a preacher. A preacher never steps back. Especially for his personal inconveniences. So the devotee tells, collect, Prabhupada literally sacrificed his life for us. Prabhupada sacrificed his life for us, for all of us. I saw it. He wore his body out. Every part of the body he stretched, he teared it apart in the service. The non-devotees are fond of identifying the cause of death. You could say that Prabhupada wore out his body in the service of mankind. That was the cause of his disappearance. Till last moment, he was serving in a various ways to serve the entire humanity. So after that, Prabhupada, it was in March 1977, then from there, Prabhupada moves to Rishikesh. The devotees thought that Prabhupada, if he is in a Rishikesh, the Rishikesh climate is little better and Prabhupada can recover. So like that they take to Prabhupada, in the month of May, they take Prabhupada to Rishikesh. Prabhupada stayed few days. Then Prabhupada when stays few days, then Prabhupada tells one night in the middle, midnight, around some 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., Prabhupada got up and calls his assistant and tells him, now I have to leave to Vrindavan. In the midnight is a Rishikesh, somewhere in outskirts. So then they tell to Prabhupada, we'll plan tomorrow morning. So the next day morning, they bring Prabhupada from Rishikesh to New Delhi. From New Delhi, Prabhupada comes to Vrindavan. So here devotees are very happy in Vrindavan. They got a news, Prabhupada is coming. They were so excited. But Prabhupada reveals something unusual. So before that, we'll have watch one short video. How was Prabhupada received in in Vrindavan? Some of you would have seen, but I thought it's relevant to recall that and see this video.
Came before the ladies, and this time he took off his sunglasses. He had been keeping them on all the time, but this time in front of Radha and Ishwar, he took them off. One could see the tears streaming down his face. It was pretty amazing. There are a lot of events taking place that for us were very
emotionally churning, disturbing. There were moments when we would feel that God was going to recover and start to take something and indicate that He would stay with us, that we'd feel greatest elation, greatest joy. We felt like we'd been dunked underwater, dunking chair, and suddenly we'd be brought up for a breath of air. And then, just as extreme and suddenly, we would see a symptom that He was perhaps recovering His health, and it was continuing to deteriorate, and we would be plunged into the greatest in the abyss of lamentation, great fear and anxiety that He might leave us. So it was emotionally extremely difficult time. I was present at the time when Krishnadas Balaji came to visit Srila Prabhupada and sat on his bed at his feet, massaged Srila Prabhupada's feet, held his hand. Srila Prabhupada asked him for forgiveness, saying, "Please forgive me for offenses that I committed to my God brothers." The Vaishnavas said, "What can I do? I had to preach strongly." And Krishnadas Balaji, of course, rubbed his hand and his arm and said, "There's no offense, Swamiji. There's no offense from you." I think he said, "Please be at peace." And Prabhupada actually cried for that forgiveness.
I had a letter from Chaitanya Maharaj explaining about the idea of going to Nepal to go and start a study. So Prabhupada got the letter and then he called me. He was sitting on the veranda upstairs. And he looked very, I'd never seen him looking so ill. And then he welcomed me. He thanked me for preaching Bangladesh. And then he told a story about one Bengali poet, Michael Mansour Dasa. He had gone to London and he squandered all his money. Then he was asking everyone to please help him, and no one would give him any money, except this one gentleman called Dasa. So he gave him some money, and so this poet glorified that money and said, "You've got the courage of an Englishman and heart of a Bengali mother." So then Prabhupada said that you are an Englishman, a Britisher, and you have to show that courage. The British were famous for expanding an empire. So they expanded their empire all over the world. Even America is your creation.
So this was how the Prabhupada reached to Vrindavan in May 28, 1977. So one sense devotees were excited, very happy to see Prabhupada. But soon Prabhupada already was revealed to, in Rishikesh itself, is revealed to few of his disciples why he is coming to Vrindavan. So when come to Vrindavan, then again after reaching to Vrindavan, he revealed. So he mentioned that he is ready to leave his body. He is preparing, he want to leave his body in Vrindavan. When this was heard by the disciples, they were really shocked that all the joys turned into a kind of a sorrow. But during that time, Prabhupada consoles them. When they were all, their faces are like that, how Prabhupada consoles? What says Prabhupada says? Prabhupada says, Dehino asmin yatha dehe komaram emanam jara. What is there? From one body to another body, this change. Why you are lamenting? See? Philosophy remembering at that moment. Ordinary jivas cannot do that. Even more, and in that he instructs to his assistant, from now on, don't cook for me. Remember, it's a date, May, in the month of May 1977. Don't force me to eat anything. What is the use of eating when there is no appetite? From that time, Prabhupada took only Charanamrut and juice till November 14, 1977. There was one devotee he was collecting, what was his duty every day? Give 3 drops of Charanamrut to Prabhupada. That was not like Charanamrut, will take 1 glass or 2 glasses. Every day, at a time, Kampat Parikrama, 3 drops of Charanamrut, sometimes some juice. That was a Prabhupada used to take. Story not ended, still is here. Later, Prabhupada got a call from UK in the month of August. We showed this in May. In the month of August, Prabhupada plans to go to UK. The same scenario, situations are even deteriorating. Prabhupada visits Bhaktivedanta Manor in August, celebrates Janmashtami, Vyasa Puja, and comes back from UK. And Prabhupada comes back from UK, returned to Mumbai. From Mumbai to again in the September, he reaches to Vrindavan. So there, when Prabhupada returned from UK, go to Mumbai and spends few days, and there, from 1971 onwards, Prabhupada, whenever he used to go to Mumbai, used to meet one young man, from very rich man, having a lot of property, wealth, cars and all. And used to have a lot of arguments with Prabhupada. Whatever Prabhupada says, he is not used to accept. Because he is connected with Mayavada, some Mayavada guru, some philosophy. Even though he was like to debate with Prabhupada and he likes to come and do some services in the temple, but not used to accept the philosophy and not used to accept Prabhupada as a guru. So his name was Srinath Ji Das. So this time also Prabhupada comes to Mumbai, stays for a few days, and Prabhupada again expresses, now it's a time again I have to go back to Vrindavan. Disciples books a train, Mathura Express train name, and devotees want to take Prabhupada from Jew temple to the railway station. So it was on 28 September 1977, early morning at 4:30 a.m. So at 4:30 a.m., the temple, one of the devotee from temple calls to this Srinath Ji and tells him, see, Prabhupada wants to leave his body. Srinath Ji was shocked, as he had never heard such an expression and initially misunderstood it. He thought Prabhupada is leaving to Vrindavan. No, Prabhupada wants to leave his body in Vrindavan. So then the devotee tells, can you bring your car to drop Prabhupada to railway station? He was having a big Dodge car. Dodge car means, if you see that, which has a very long car, if you see even today it's crores of worth, it has some 1.5 cr or car, big car. He was having that car. And this temple devotee asks him, can you bring car for Prabhupada? And that devotee, Srinath Ji, is shocked and yes, I will bring. So first time in his life, he never cleaned his car. He's a rich person. he is having his servants. Everything servants will do. First time he cleans his car, cleans the seat, remove all the whatever the things in that, unwanted things, and places nice silk cushion, silk cloth, and prepares and comes, drove a car and comes to the temple to pick up Prabhupada. When you come with a car, devotees carry, like in how for carrying Prabhupada, they carry Prabhupada and brings in the places in the car, and few 3-4 devotees also sits. Some are front and some are back, and they start going towards railway station. So the one devotee tells, please drive slowly. Prabhupada is there, Prabhupada health is not in good condition. But somehow Prabhupada tells, drive fast. And the devotee is saying that, no, Prabhupada, train is at 11 a.m., we have sufficient time. Prabhupada tells, drive fast. And the driver drives fast to reach the station. After reaching the station, it comes to know, train timing is preponed, train is not at 11, train is at 10:30. So then the devotee realizes, see what Prabhupada is telling right, we have to follow. We followed right. So then they brought Prabhupada into railway station, and unfortunately the devotee is supposed to book a AC coach. Somehow the devotees booked non-AC coach. And Prabhupada was placed in non-AC coach, and before placing, after getting down from the car, when Prabhupada was on a chair, devotee calls this Srinathji, this Srimad Dasa, he calls him, come closer. And he goes closer. Prabhupada is not so able to speak loudly. So in very feeble voice, Prabhupada tells, thank you for everything you have done for me. Thank you so much for everything you have done for me. See, in that scenario, even to thank is not an ordinary person consciousness. So when Prabhupada mentions that, he recollects what Prabhupada told him, come closer. So these are the exact words. Thank you for driving me. This deeply moved Srinathji. Prabhupada, at the point of leaving his body, was expressing gratitude. He felt he had done very little service. Overwhelmed, he offered obeisances. He held Prabhupada's lotus feet despite others trying to stop him. Then at that moment he tells, Prabhupada, I surrender to you. You are my spiritual master. So Srinathji, whole 7 years, was arguing with Prabhupada. When Prabhupada expresses gratitude in that precarious situation, that moved Srinathji. Then he says, Prabhupada, I surrender to you. You are my spiritual master. Prabhupada placed his hand on his head, blessed him, slightly lifted himself with effort, smiled sweetly. As the train started, devotees told him to jump off. Then they took the Prabhupada inside and he get down. See here, when we chant Prabhupada Pranama Mantra, what do we say? Nirvishesha Paschatya Deshatarani. Till last moment, Prabhupada was transforming the hearts of Mayavadis. Not only in 1966, 70, he did. Till last moment, till last he was boarding a train, he was transforming the hearts of Mayavadis. So this is the preacher. And later he collects, collects some religious. When he come back to car, so there was one garland Prabhupada left for him. What Prabhupada was wearing a garland, Prabhupada removed and kept aside. He recollects, Prabhupada kept this prasaram garland for me. He relishes that moment so much. So, is here, as we are discussing, why devotees, such a devotees, leave the body? Why they die? That is the question asked here. Why Parikshit Maharaj has to die? Why Prabhupada has to quit the body? Answer is, the devotees live to preach, and even devotees die to preach. In Prabhupada's own words, Prabhupada tells this shloka while explaining it, while in the lecture related to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, Disappearance Day. Rajaputra Chiranjiva, Muniputra Majiva, Sadho Jiva, Sadho Jivava Marav. What it means, the son of the king should die immediately. Sorry, should not live, should live forever, should not die. Because if he dies, all his luxury will come to an end. Next life will some sinful life. Muniputra Majiva. You die, Muniputra, the son of a saintly person, has to die immediately because he has nicely practiced so many austerities. If you die, next life will be better life. Sadhova, Jivava, Marav. Either you live or die, they serve Krishna in both the situations. So in the case of Prabhupada, in the case of Parikshit Maharaj, either the way they're serving the instructions of the Lord, they are the, what you can say, whatever happening in their life is by the will of the providence. That's why either the way they're serving the humanity. So, we are very fortunate to get such a great spiritual master who preached every moment. Till last breath, Prabhupada was continuously preaching, giving the commentary, dictation on the Bhagavatam. So it's our responsibility, by seeing that much painstakingly when Prabhupada has given all these things, we have to just take those instructions. We are not even 0.1% of that difficulty we no need to take. Prabhupada made all things so easy in our life. Only thing is, we have to just follow. Chant your rounds, attend sadhana, follow 4 regulative principles, read Srila Prabhupada books, and do the services, whatever the best you can do. If you follow this much, so then Prabhupada is ready to shower his complete mercy on us. So we should not leave this opportunity. We should be grateful to Krishna for blessing us with such a great spiritual master. So by this I will end. If anyone has any questions, comments, we can discuss. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की।